Next on TCM, Bride of Frankenstein, then The Enchanted Cottage, and later, Undercurrent. There's no escape from TCM tonight.
Hello, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome back to Goth Night on TCM. Up next, a gothic horror classic from Universal Pictures in 1935, Bride of Frankenstein. If it had been up to Universal production chief Carl Laemmle Jr., The Bride would have come to theaters years earlier. Laemmle wanted to capitalize immediately on the profitable fervor created by the landmark 1931 monster movie Frankenstein. But Frankenstein's director, James Whale, was not interested in making a sequel. He believed he'd already told the complete story created by Mary Shelley and that reviving the monster again would be derivative. Though Laemmle wanted a part two, he was not so hungry for it that he'd turn it over to a different director. Laemmle wanted Whale and only Whale. Whale eventually capitulated on the condition that Laemmle give him complete creative control, which Laemmle did. Anyway, that's why this sequel came 4 years after Frankenstein. Whale and his writers cleverly opened this film with a framing device, something of a literary supergroup composed of Mary Shelley, Lord Byron, and Shelley's husband, Percy Bysshe Shelley. They're touring Europe together when Mary Shelley conceives the Frankenstein story. In the scene, the other writers ask, "And then what happened?" prompting this fictional version of Mary Shelley to launch into the story of the sequel. Shelley, of course, never wrote a sequel, but the scene lent a certain legitimacy to a plot that Whale and his writers largely created themselves. The sequel is no repeat of Frankenstein. It has more variety than its predecessor, with moments of humor, humanity, and the surreal. A new character, a university professor of Henry Frankenstein's named Dr. Pretorius, stirs the pot by revealing his own experiments with creating life. The name of the film, Bride of Frankenstein, is actually a misnomer of sorts, at least in literal terms. Frankenstein is often assumed to be the monster, not the scientist who created him. The filmmakers went along with that assumption when picking the title, The Bride of the Creature Created by Dr. Frankenstein. That might be accurate, but it's not poster-friendly. The film became another huge hit for Universal. More recently, it inspired a fresh and creative take on the story. The Bride, written and directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal, starring Jessie Buckley, Oscar-nominated this year for Hamnet as the Bride, and Christian Bale as Frankenstein's monster, also with Annette Bening, Peter Sarsgaard, and Penelope Cruz, is scheduled to hit theaters next month. It's really good, credibly moving the story forward to Chicago during the Depression. This one is 91 years old, from 1935, with Boris Karloff back as the monster and Elsa Lanchester in dual roles as both the Bride and Mary Shelley herself, Bride of Frankenstein. While many believe Bride of Frankenstein is the rare sequel that tops its predecessor, Boris Karloff was not among them. He maintained that his monster character was far too humanized in the second film. He especially didn't care for the moment when the monster learns to talk. Ultimately, of course, director James Whale's vision won out. Playing Frankenstein's monster had a profound effect on Boris Karloff's career, both good and bad. Despite being known for playing movie monsters, Karloff was, by all accounts, a warm, patient, kind, and generous man. That said, long hours in makeup chairs and acting in braces contributed to chronic back problems, and dangerous on-set conditions led to some lasting injuries. In 1933, seeking equity and safer working conditions, Karloff helped found the Screen Actors Guild, became only its 9th member. Today, SAG-AFTRA includes more than 160,000 creative professionals. Coming up, Robert Young and Dorothy McGuire experienced the transformative power of love in the 1945 fantasy The Enchanted Cottage. That is next on TCM.
Next on TCM, The Enchanted Cottage, then Undercurrent, and later, The Haunting. TCM keeps coming back tonight.